All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Hakodash. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, with a back to the basics lesson on is this the end? Being the fact that through the spirit we're prophesying we're at the end of the world. All right, we're at the end of time, at the end of an age, the end of an era, the end of a rulership. And that's what we're prophesying to our people. Hey, this is not our rest, but it was always written that this wicked rulership would always come to an end. So this is Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So there it is, plain and simple, plain upon tables. The Lord's disciples are asking him, what are the signs preceding your second coming? Or what are the signs before you come back? All right. In verse 4, and Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So the first thing that he's telling his disciples is make sure that nobody deceives you. Make sure that nobody can lie to you. All right. Verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So many shall come in the name of the Messiah. All right. And we see that now more than ever with the false prophets, false teachers, etc. All right. This is a sign preceding the Lord's second coming. All right. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Just Babylon the Great alone, the so-called USA. Look how many wars they've been in. They've been in a World War I, a World War II. All right. And plenty of conflicts after those, man. All right. And we hear the rumors of a brewing huge conflict, and we know, Lord willing, it to brew into a World War III. So we have experienced wars and rumors of wars. This is a sign preceding the Lord's second coming. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So don't be worried. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we have to go through these things. We have to go through the tribulation. We have to go through the third World War III. But the Lord is telling us, hey, don't be troubled. Trust in Yahweh, Bahashem, and Hawashai. All right. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation. And that is a part of the big world war. But as well as individually here in Babylon the Great, as well as other places throughout the earth, there's going to be nation against nation, what they call races, here on the earth, man. Different nations are going to butt heads for whatever reason, man. This is a sign of the times, man, the sign of the end. All right, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and shall be famine. There shall be famine. So there's a famine that's prophesied, and this is words from Yahweh Shah. So this is going to come to pass, and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, and not only earthquakes, but just different manners of storms, man. And we see that now more than ever, of course, with the internet. We can see when things are happening very fast. Texas, man, a lot of people perished because of the storm or the flood waters that the Lord sent through Texas. This is a sign of the time, the so-called pandemic. Well, guess what, man, here pretty soon in the near future, there's going to be no question if there's an actual pestilence running rapid amongst men. All right, you're going to be able to see it, and you're going to be able to tell. That's a sign when people start getting sick, all type of manners of diseases. This is a sign preceding the Lord's second coming. All right, and of course the famine. However the Lord is going to bring it about. We believe that the earth itself will never truly run out of food completely, but however the Lord brings the famine unto you, so that you won't be able to, eat readily available food. It's going to be a problem. Whether the Lord sends a storm to wipe out the crops, he can send locusts like he's done before. He could just put it in the hearts of man to be very, very janky with the food and such, man. All right. So all these things are going to be issues. But the whole point being, these are signs preceding the Lord's second coming. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrow. So there's going to be more. This is just the beginning of it. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. That's the prosecution. The the prosecution of the saints, man, for lack of better words. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And we're seeing the beginning stages of that. The scriptures also speak about the love of many waxing cold in these days. So we see the love of a mother, and that's something, just another thing that the Lord said he came to do: bring a sword, all right, not send peace, set man at variance against his father, all right, and a son against his father, etc. And we see that now more than ever with the internet. These things have been going on, been going on since Yahweh Shai completed his work. But we're able to see it via the internet and these cell phones, man, within these households, all the debauchery that's going on in these households, man. All right. Verse 10, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound. And we see that now, the love of many shall wax cold. That's what I was talking about. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved, man. All right, so we have to endure until the end of this thing. We got to continue to keep our integrity towards Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua until it's all said and done, man. In verse 14, and this is the end. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world for a witness unto all nations. So that's scary if you really can see that that's happening right now. The prophets are out prophesying and teaching to all nations, man, via the highways and byways and internet highways and byways, man. And the Lord has set these men up. So that's a sign of the end of time, the end of an era, the end of an age, man. And then shall the end come. So when you see all these things added up through the scriptures, what's going on in real life, in real time, all right, you should be able to see, man, this got to be the end, man. All right. Then we go down to verse 22. And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. I mentioned that the other day. Even the scientists, man, Esau, Edom scientists, man, even they're saying literally, hey, the days are going by faster. That's all the Spirit of the Lord working out upon the earth concerning, the events, prophecy, and as well as literal time is going by faster. The Lord said he was going to do that on behalf of the Lord's hopeful elect, because if he didn't, eventually we would all just perish, but because of the Lord's love for his hopeful elect, the Lord is cutting these days short, and he's going ahead and letting prophecy come to pass, going ahead and let Jake crash out 2/3 of the nation of Israel, and he has revealed unto his servants the truth. So now we know who we are, we know who the other nations are, we know what the mark of the beast is, and all we got to do is again keep our integrity until it's all over with. It's easier said than done, of course, but that's why we call upon Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why we teach the name of the Lord is a strong tower, Yahweh Yahweh Shah. So we call upon those names with a sincere, fearful spirit and hopes, right, and faith that the Lord will hear us and answer our prayers, answer our concerns, our cries, while everybody else is living like this is their rest, referring to our people first and foremost, while everyone else is playing around, doing girl trips, still going out. There's nothing wrong with going out and things like that, but it is a problem if you're not serving Bahashem Awashah to the best of your ability. Some of you Israelites ain't got a day in the so-called trenches. You ain't got a day in humility. You don't have a day in fasting in the name Yahweh Yahweh Shah. And eventually it's going to catch up with you, and eventually you're going to know that a prophet had been amongst you, because the Lord's going to make a difference, and he's going to make it and put it right in front of your face. You're going to see the Lord dealing with these men in their household on a whole nother level like you've never seen. And you're going to see, for you Israelites that didn't take heed to the warning, you're going to see your household diminish, rapidly, man. And it's just going to be dire straight after dire straight after dire straits, man, for those individuals of our nation that didn't take heed to the warning. Hey, this is in fact the end. We just saw the signs of preceding the Lord's second coming, man. All right. We go to the book of 2 Timothy. Chapter 3 and verse 1. All right. This know also that in the last days, and we are in the last days, perilous times shall come. And these are the characteristics or behavior of the people, the majority of them that's going to be upon the earth in the last days. For men shall be lovers of them own selves. We see that now more than ever. The whole selfie, social media generation, covetous, boasters, proud, now more than ever, man, especially with our people getting to the bag, all right, selling their soul for fame and fortune, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. You can't tell these children nothing. They're ungovernable, unthankful, unholy. They're definitely unthankful towards Yahweh Bahashim and Hawashai without natural affection. Look at all the funny business going on upon the earth. All right, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, and a look at how our women are. They're very fierce, and a lot of our men are coming in a weak feminine spirit, despisers of those that are good. Again, these are characteristics, of the people in the last days, and this has to be the last days because all this is taking place now more than ever. Traitors, oh man, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, and that's a big one with our people. Probably the biggest, the fact that they love pleasures more than they love to sacrifice or work or go without for Yahweh Bahashem or Hawashah. And that's what, again, why we tell our people that this is not your rest. The Lord deals with balance, man. Every day ain't gonna be straight peace, and every day ain't gonna be just straight chaos and hectic, man. And that's from the Lord. And the wiser that you are, the more and more you'll have an understanding of that, and you'll be able to kind of be more receptive to the will of Yahweh Bahashim Hawashai, and you won't be as rebellious, as you were when you first or before you came into this truth. You're more receptive to the will of Yahweh Bahashim Hawashai, knowing that He has our best intentions at heart. When this thing is all over with, and understanding that hell, we messed up, so we had to be punished, man. But that again, the Lord is merciful. All right, so we cry unto Yahweh Bahashim Shah as much as possible in hopes that He'll hear us. He'll hear our cries. He'll have pity upon us. He'll have mercy upon us. We're acknowledging, confessing that we're nothing. We're nobody. We're less than. As it relates to Yahweh Bahashim and Hawashai. And we just hope, all right, through the spirit of faith that the Lord hears us and that He is what we say dealing with us. All right. But the whole point being that there's an actual period in the Bible called the last days, and we're living in that now. And you see the behavior or characteristics of the individuals, or the majority of them upon the earth: covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. We see that now more than ever. So guess what? This has to be, the end. Okay, the end of the end. In the book of Jude 18. For chapter 1, verse 18, how that they told you there should be mockers in the last days, same thing, who should walk after their own godly lust. Again, see that now more than ever with the whole internet thing, seeing the prophets out on the highways and byways, and seeing the scoffers and mockers that come up to them, looking at the comments and the videos that these people make on behalf of what the prophets are saying. They're mockers in the last days. That's a sign that we're in this period called the last days. So again, knowing that this is the last days, it would definitely benefit us to serve Yahweh Bahashim and Hawashai, still have a chance to have some decency about yourself before the Lord completely unleashes the destructions throughout the four winds of the earth, man. All right, all that's coming here pretty soon, man. This is the last go round, man. Last call out, last warnings going out to you Israelites, you so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It's almost go time. Call y'all about Shemal Shah. Now the fun part begins. You know how Jake is when it comes to some more than others. But hey man, sitting down studying, and this is the admin part. All right, now we're getting ready to go to the practical side of things, man, where it's going to get physical, and the things that we learned, the things that we've taught, we're going to have to execute, and we want to make sure that we execute at a high level to give glory to Yahweh Bahashim Shah. So we got to enter into this great tribulation, the end of these last days, hey, with a great deal of faith, man, and works behind that faith. So we have experience serving Yahweh Bahashim Shah to the best of our ability with what the Lord has given us in these last days, in these last seconds, and we're going to utilize that when we get out here, man. Hey, the scriptures speak about the enemy coming in like a madman, sparing none. We see, it roaring is ugly head via the ICE agents and such, man. Them folk going crazy. I guess they just came out with a memorandum, if you will, where they say they got to chill out just coming up in places like that. But you see how they rocking. They're coming in schools, jobs, catch you on a golf course, man, wherever. The farms, man, and they're just snatching people up. How much more when it's really that time, when it's the time of the mark of the beast? They're gonna come in like a madman, sparing none. When it's famines, when it's uproars of the people, when everybody's broken, everyone's on edge, like the earth has never seen before. Hey, the enemy's gonna come in like a madman, sparing none, because he know that his time is short. He know that it's over with, so he might as well rock on out. And guess what? It's gonna be Yahweh Shema Shah that's gonna put a spirit upon these men to do so. We're just the messengers. We're warning. We're sending out this warning through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shah. Hey, Israelites, repent. Hey, put your best foot forward. Hey, cry out to Yahweh Hashem Shah. Acknowledge your fault. Say you was wrong, that you're not perfect. You didn't know every damn thing, and that you was involved in idolatry, adultery, stealing, unaliving people. You got to say stuff like that on the internet. It starts there, man, acknowledging your faults, man. And once you start to acknowledge your faults with a true spirit, man, the Lord will start dealing with you, and he'll remove that stony heart from you. He'll remove that pride from you, man. But it starts with the fear of Yahweh Hashem Shai. But we understand most of our people learn the fear or lack thereof towards Yahweh Hashem Shai from precepts of men, their slave masters or whoever, and the people that learn from their slave masters, your great grandma, them, and then they taught your grandma, and then your grandma taught your parents, and etc. So we just inherited lies throughout generation, man. Well, the Lord has, certain men set up to combat that, if you will. All right. But it's only for a remnant, and everyone is not going to get it. There's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in that everyone is not going to be saved, that the Lord is not dealing with everyone. All right. He's actually only dealing with the nation of Israel, and within the nation of Israel, only a small remnant, 2/3. Okay. The nation of Israel is the only ones that's going to be able to receive the warning and take heed to it, man. But the fact that this is the last days, and the Lord is getting ready to execute judgment. So we'll go back into one of our prophets, Jeremiah, the 30 and verse 24, and it reads, the fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. We're considering it now, because we see, first and foremost, the servants of the Lord. We're able to see it, but guess what? Everybody damn else is getting ready to consider it as well. They're about to consider that a prophet was amongst them. They're going to consider, the name Yahweh Shah must be real. All right. Once they see the physicality of the things that we're saying, once they see the manifestation of the prophetic words that we spoke through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Shah in the latter days, or the last days, people are about to consider it. Again, we're considering it now, and because we're considering it, we're coming with fear, and that fear produces obedience, right, to the best of our ability. We're actually doing things through the spirit. We're actually, fast and going on fast. We're actually fellowship, and we're actually being involved in holy conversations, going out on the highways and byways, teaching, doing lessons, taking rebuke, giving rebuke if the spirit, moves you to do so. All these things, when the Lord, brings you to a lower state, learning how to abound and how to abase, all these things, man, we're learning through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Shai, because we're considering that this is the end of the damn world. All right. And then we go back to the book of Matthew to see how crazy it's about to be. Matthew 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. That's why we say this is the great tribulation. It's about to be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world. So World War I, World War II, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, all these, captivities that we've been in, all the conflicts. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. This is his word, Yahweh Shah. The Lord say, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be short. And again, cutting that time short, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. And the whole point being how severe this time of trouble, this great tribulation is going to be. It's going to be so bad that the earth has never seen nothing like this before. I always like to say, man, what are we getting ready to go through? If you really have the mind to meditate on all the tragedies, atrocities, that have happened upon the earth, man, just with Babylon the Great alone, man. All right. This World War III ain't gonna be no joke, man. This great tribulation ain't gonna be it's not gonna be a joke, but there's a good side to it for those that take heed to the warning, man. The Lord is merciful, and he's not sending out the warning for no reason, albeit 2/3 of the nation of Israel have been prophesied not to get it, but for the Lord's hopeful elect, hey, they're gonna get it, and the Lord is gonna be with them. They're gonna have food during a time of famine. They're gonna have clothing during a time, where clothes, clean clothes aren't readily available, a roof over their head, shade in the heat, heat in the cold, all these things, man. And these are things that we should meditate on and pray now, that what the Lord say, pray that you're worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass upon the earth, and to stand before Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So we want to pray that the Lord will feed us. All right, give us our daily bread now, of course, Babu Kusha, and of course during the great tribulation, that we have clothes, that especially for you women and children, but that you have a place to go to the bathroom. That'll be an issue in that day. If you're locked, like for individuals that's never been locked up or been camping or shit like that, a lot of women, it's not fun. Even though we're men, it's not fun having to use, and you know what I'm talking about. It's not fun having to use the bathroom in front of people up in the county jail. Cameras all looking at you. That's not going to be an issue for the Lord's hopeful elect. And if you think I'm joking, look at how the Lord dealt with the Israelites in the past. When there's times that the Lord's children were thrown in the fiery furnaces, and trekking through the desert, and their clothes didn't smell like smoke, or their clothes didn't stink, and things like that. If the Lord saw fit to not let our clothes stink and sweat and through that desert, how much more during this time that the earth has never seen before? Guess what? The Lord willing, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is gonna deal, quote unquote, with us like he's never dealt with us before. I'm talking about that hopeful elect now, and we've mentioned through the Spirit about the Lord lifting up a standard when that enemy comes in like a madman, sparing none. Spiritual power. A lot of people think that's a damn joke. It's a game when we talk about flying, disappearing, turning into different elements, manipulating the elements, super speed, and all these things. A punk motherfucker will take it as a joke. We sure don't. We actually believe the Lord is going to lift up a standard, and he's going to do miracles on behalf of his glory. All right, and he's going to do it through his hopeful elect, man. All right, healings, man, speaking in tongues and understanding different languages. All these things are getting ready to come to pass. We just got to hold on to our faith and hold on to our integrity and endure unto the end, like the Bible or Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and our brothers have taught us, man. All right. And I'm gonna make it too long, but I'll go to Romans and probably leave it off right here. Let's see here. Here it is. Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Oh man, sometimes you really got to meditate on getting the hell out of here, man. And just how, and the Lord, remember what the Lord taught us to count, everything that we lose is dung. Easier said than done when you're really living in real time. But you just got to meditate on, oh my goodness, I can't believe that this is it. This is it. Regardless, we don't want to test the theory of a 2/3. But regardless, if you are the Lord's hopeful elect or you are that 2/3, this is our last captivity, man. That's something to praise Yahweh by Hashem and Haushai for, be thankful for, be motivated for. This is it. We'll never have to be under subjection to these ignorant motherfuckers again. You know, all this crazy whack ridiculousness that is the existence. You know, I can't wait to get out of here, man. And I know brothers and sisters, man, are coming in that same spirit, man. But the whole point, hey, knowing what's going on, Matthew 24 chapter, seeing, you know, the signs and lining what the Lord said up in real time. Okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. This got to be the last days. The prophets are out there. Things are happening. They have a more sure word of prophecy. It's not getting better. Things seem to gradually be getting worse. Okay, and on every aspect, more storms, more mass shootings, you know, more people getting fired, more adultery, more crime. It's just this place is out of order. It's out of freaking control, and it's corny. You know, once you really have a glimpse of how we could live, and then you see how we're living, oh man, you'll wash your hands with this. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, oh, we are through the spirit, we washing our hands with this, man. You know, washing our hands with 2/3 our wicked ass brothers and sisters. It is what it is. The rest of these nations, it is what it is, man. All right, we're done. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shah, we don't want to play no more. We're taking our ball and going home. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Till next time, Shalom.